Perfect. Well, definitely happy Wednesday. Feels like Friday, feels like Monday. Every day in 2020 feels like every other day to me. But we're going to dive into some industry trends. And I'm going to hand the mic over in a little bit to Sarah Smith from The Dirt, which I'm really excited for everybody to hear from Sarah. If you haven't heard of The Dirt before, I'd be surprised. But I think some really interesting takeaways you're going to get out of it today. But a little bit from me, Ellie, as we progress here. A little bit of a recap from yesterday. I think everyone, sort of aware of the wins. I will do a recap at the end as well for everybody. But taking a look at today on the next slide, after our session, we're going to get some insights from roadside assistance, a little bit of a break. Then there's the mentorship peer panel. Really excited about this one. Some great successful entrepreneurs talking through some of their learnings. We had some digital conversation there yesterday around marketing. So we have a really talented partner of ours coming in to talk about what they've done for a few businesses already and in this space. We're going to talk about payment practices, which is a hot topic this year. Bit of a break again. Horst and Karina are going to come back and spend another 45 minutes on the product, and then we'll do a little bit of general Q&A on the end of the day. Really work hard to stay on track. So again, let's continue to progress. Ellie, thinking about the industry trends. On the first slide that you're going to see here, I think one of the most interesting things, Ellie, as we progress, is that in the media this year, things are different. Things that people are talking about the outdoor space at a much different level than they have before. People who have never thought about it are talking about it. I've said on a few different occasions when I've been doing interviews that I have Four Seasons friends, and those are friends that were always staying at the Four Seasons before, hotels. And they never would have considered or even thought about going on an RV trip or a camping trip. That just wasn't who they were. And then all of a sudden, come May, June, they're blowing up my cell phone asking for like, what kind of RV should I go in? Where should I go? I've not ever thought about this before. And now they want to be out in the Four Seasons. So it's really exciting to see how that's changed. And I hope everyone's feeling like if you're on this call, you're in the right game. And now I don't know if anyone else was smart enough to figure this out. I definitely didn't see it around the corner that, hey, probably there's gonna be a pandemic soon, and this is gonna, change the way people think about travel. I wasn't smart enough to see that. If you were, kudos to you. But you happen to be in the right game right now, and you got a great opportunity in front of you. And if we progress there again, Ellie, you see it in the media all over the place. So you see the talk about RV sales, people wanting to go and purchase one. This is great because you can see people want to go out and do it. It's a great indicator that people want to invest that much money. It's also a great indicator that there's going to be a bunch of consignment vehicles available in the future because people are making this choice for this year in this situation. There's going to be some pretty like a whole bunch of new ones coming onto the market for the next season, especially as things start to open up, vaccines, etc. So that's one thing that's really exciting. Next slide there, Ellie.
Tilted.
Go back. You can also see that there's a lot of talk about how travel's changing. And for anyone who is old enough to have been traveling and buying their own tickets for air travel after 2001 and what happened with 9/11, it did change travel. It did change travel in going through security. It changed travel in prices. It changed travel in the way that people consider where people considered going. So even though there was a period of time after where it was really extreme, it did change travel completely or change travel ongoing. I think we're going to see the same sort of thing. And that's what we're hearing from a lot of travel industry experts. I used to work at an airline and have stayed really close with a few of the people there. And they laid off 95% of their company. 95% of their company. They don't expect to bring that or be at that staff level again for 10 years. That's incredible, right? Think about the impact that they're expecting. Now, maybe it's faster than that. And honestly, with some good friends in that space, I really hope that it is, but that is what they're anticipating. And I know in the hotel industry, many similar things. After we've all been ingrained for a year, we've seen all these things, I'm out walking and I hear someone cough across the street. The mind is different now than it was a year ago. So how are people going to, think about this differently, even when there is a vaccine, even when they're feeling a little bit more comfortable? I think that it has changed the game for a longer period of time. And then the business travel, we've had people come into Outdoorsy, and I know many Wheelbase dealers have supported business travel as well. So I think those sort of things are going to continue. So Ellie, I think we can flip through the next few. These are all taken like in the last day. So these aren't, hey, I took these in July or August or June at the start of the pandemic. Like this is what people are talking about right now. People are talking about Generali putting out a release there. The amount of people who are doing trip insurance is at a ridiculous rate, higher than it's ever been before, because people understand that things can happen and that their trip plans can change out of nowhere. So you have a whole bunch of changes happening in the travel space and people thinking about their trips in a different way. Let's move forward there again, Ellie. Um, well, let's go ahead one more right here. Okay, so some data. So there's some of the data I can't share from Outdoorsies here, but I can share the impact that we're seeing right now, and that it's absolutely that things are changing. So what you can see on the left is the age of people coming through and booking through the site. And if you look in 2019 in August, so this is August, 1st August, the growth year over year at the right, the big number there, obviously the shockingly large number, 18 to 24, massive increase on the amount of people on our platform coming through. Now, that's even with a challenge on insurance, right? I think everyone knows that 25 or under 25, not everyone qualifies for insurance. So that means that we've had this much growth, and these people are finding 25-year-olds and older to come on trips with them as well. So really big impact. Something we're looking at is how can we ensure the right people? How can we make sure that the ones coming through our platform would be the right people going out into your vehicles and other people's vehicles? So I think that's really huge there. You can also see the 25 to 34, massive increase there. I think we were expecting that as we were kind of going into this year, but it definitely outpaced the other part of the other demographics we had. And then in third, the 65 plus. Small sample size, probably a dozen or so people that I've really focused and talking to in this area. But there was a lot of urgency. There was like my mom, as a great example, she loves to travel. My mom is constantly traveling. They've been to the Great Wall of China in recent years. Luckily, they got to Egypt just before some of the sort of strife happened there. They love to travel. This year's different. They can't do that international trip. So for them, they still want to get out there. They want to travel. They're doing RV travel this year, just like so many other people at a higher rate. My mom had no plans for RV travel. She straight up told me when I joined Outdoorsy, that's really cool. I'm not interested in the job you're doing. Like for the first time in my career, like no interest until this year. Now it's like, Evan, okay, tell me a little bit about RVs. What should I be looking at? What should we be doing? Again, it's changing the way people are thinking about it. And then one last sort of data slide I have up next here is, are you out there in the right places for people to find you? So if we move forward there, Elliot, thank you. Are you in the right places? So again, I've taken out some of like the volume size, but to give you a sense of how we're driving volume and renters from an Outdoorsy perspective at the company, organic search, paid search, those are huge. Organic is one that you can absolutely play in. We heard about that in SEO. You can definitely do paid search. You want to be really targeted there. But paid search is always a risky one. You can put a lot of money into paid search and not have it impact your business, not have a great ROI on it. So you want to make sure that either you learn how to do it really well, or you bring in someone or work with a partner who can help you do it very successfully. Direct is wonderful. When you start to see a lot of direct, that means your brand is growing. That means that people are finding you, they're searching for you. They're saying, yeah, I absolutely am looking for Karma camper vans, or I'm looking for Chill RV. They're coming directly to you. And then you start to see the other ones, and those ones build and build and build. But you have your email, your referrals, your affiliates, and then organic social, paid social, display, remarketing, all those sort of ones. So having a full mix of how you're driving, particularly in the digital space, which this is, how are you driving people to you? And a lot of your offline efforts will help in your organic and your direct traffic. Will help in some of the other areas too. But if you go to trade shows, if you are, we talked about t-shirts yesterday. If you have thousands of t-shirts out there and all those people go always take that shirt camping, that starts conversations, right? So there's tons and tons of opportunity out there. So again, I'll try to get off here quick. We want to hear from Sarah, not from Evan, but if we progress one more slide there, Ellie, you guys are in the right game. Whether it was luck or you're a genius, you're in the right game. I think my challenge to you on the last slide I have here is, are you ready to win it? Are you in it to win it? Are you going to put the effort that needs to go into there? Or are other people going to take over and other people going to take the game away from you? So again, I'm going to stop. Sarah, thank you very much for joining us today. Really excited to learn more about the dirt. And I know others here. I'll pass it over to you. Thank you.